Hello, I'm Laura. I'm 30 years old. That's all you need to know. I've had a few ups and downs in my life. The ups being two gorgeous boys and obviously a lovely husband. The downs being a brain tumour and a stillbirth. The biggest up for me at a certain point in my life was getting a phone call from Gary Italiander to say that I'd won the chance to do my own personal album, a special journey, if you will, of my life. I was on Westminster Bridge, absolutely freezing, after I'd been at St Thomas's Hospital getting myself checked for a BAHA, or bone anchored hearing aid. And the last thing I wanted to hear was a phone call from some photographer telling me that I'd won a prize to have a photo. I immediately told Gary, thank you very much, but I'm not really interested in what you have to sell. Luckily, Gary stopped me there and told me that I had actually won the chance to do a beautiful photo album of my life up until this point, which I thought for Gary would be a complete challenge. And it proved for me to be an absolute journey, because this photo album not just has photos in, but it also has wording that I really wanted to put in. And this was designed by Gary with a lot of input from me. I was very lucky in that Gary allowed me to help him design my photo album, the story of my life. We're looking at the photo album now, the album of my life, and I wanted to go through it with you because there were some really important aspects to this album. The most important thing was myself, my family and my friends, and I wanted all of this aspect because they were all important to me in this album. So firstly myself, because obviously I've got to feature in my own album. And then you have something that was very important in my life, a doctrine that I live by, and that was the lyrics to Sunscreen, a song I would advise everybody to read the lyrics to and to listen to. Next to it is me looking very angelic, because maybe not to me, but to my family and friends, hopefully they see me as someone who has, you know, good thoughts and is a good person to turn to. And then you have me on the next page, sort of maybe with my funky dance clothes on, because that's what I used to be. I used to be somebody who used to love dancing around and, you know, having fun and just looking, you know, happy. And that's an important aspect of my life. Another important aspect is you don't see me with glasses on very often, but actually I wear glasses all the time. And Gary insisted, quite rightly, that in at least one photo there was me with glasses on, because that's who I really am, somebody who wears glasses. So as you go in and you see me in the woods, one of the photos I've got my glasses on, but I'm very, very vain, and that shows through in the album that I don't wear my glasses all the time. From about page 9 onwards, the most important aspect of my life is my family. And Gary was fantastic. He came to my mum's house, took photos of all my family, and trust me, and I'm sure you understand this, getting all family together is near on impossible. Gary fitted in with everything that I wanted with my family. So I have all my family there, my sister, my parents, my grandparents, because they are important in my life. And then the most important family in my life are my husband and my son. I say were because I now have another son who's absolutely gorgeous as well. But this is my husband and my son, who are so important in my life. And you can see that later on, that my son features very heavily in this photo album because he is so important to me. But then after my family, the second most important thing to me are my close friends. They are always there for me, and I wanted them in the album so that I would never forget them. So I have, well, 3 of my close friends and my sister, who I regard as my best friend. We are very close and she has always been there for me. Gary then insisted, quite rightly, that I have some more shots, maybe just of me, because it is actually my album. And he asked me to have some relaxing shots. I don't relax very often. You just need to ask my husband. But he insisted that, you know, I've come across as very relaxing when I've been with him, and that's an aspect that I needed to show in my life. Finally, the pièce de résistance to the whole album, a juxtaposition to the first page. On the first page I looked angelic and I had the words, the lyrics to Sunscreen that I always live by. And on the last page I wanted to be anything but angelic, so I look a little bit naughty. And next to that are some other lyrics that I live by as well, and that's always look on the bright side of life, a song in Life of Brian by Monty Python. And if you haven't heard the song, do listen to it. It's absolutely fabulous. It basically says, do you know what, sometimes your life's not so great, but it doesn't matter, because you just need to look up and say, what the hell? And that's exactly what I've done. And this album has been a completely cathartic experience for me. It showed that the good things as well as the bad can happen in my life. Everyone who sees this album is stunned by it. Everybody wants one. It is truly the most beautiful thing I've ever done. Winning the chance to do this photo book was an amazing experience for me. But it wasn't just that, it was a cathartic experience, and Gary helped me see that my life is truly beautiful, and he made the book a truly beautiful experience. Gary was patient and kind, and we did have moments where our diaries clashed, but Gary always made sure he was there for me to do the photo book, and I really appreciate that. I would recommend this to everybody I know, and maybe even to some I don't.